And we're live. Roll up, everybody. Gather, come join. One man went to mow. Gather, come join. Where are you guys? One man went to mow. You know the time. You know what we do. You know where we do it, and you know why we do it. So gather, come. Let's do it together. Have you missed me?
Missing someone with all your missing someone with how much you miss it, and you miss it. Right from the start, and you did right from the start. Missing someone is as normal. Missing someone, and missing someone is as normal. Missing someone, with all your missing someone. Missing someone, I am sad and so low.
So roll up, gather, come join. The eagle has landed. One man went to mow. Your friendly neighborhood or your laughing man. So gather, come join. One man went to mow. Plenty to go through. If you are interested in joining live on screen, you know the format. So you click on that hyperlink that you see in the comment section, and then up you pop on the screen, and I'll let you in just as soon as I've read the talking points. So gather, come join. One man went to mow. That time of the day again. So let's kick off in Kano State. Let's kick off, as I said, in Kano State. Our festive season, gaiety all over the space. As a wedding is afoot. Guys, I bring you this. Governors, ministers, others storm Emir of Kano's palace for Buhari's son's wedding. So dollar rain in Kano State essentially is what we're about to witness. Nigeria broke. What is the meaning of broke? Again, the headline: governors, ministers, others storm Emir of Kano's palace for Buhari's son's wedding. So let's now see how an unemployed youth is able to marry one of the prized princess of the Nigerian state. Some governors and ministers with other top political officials are currently at the palace of the Emir of Kano to formalize plans for the wedding of Yusuf Buhari, son of President Muhammadu Buhari. The president's son is getting married to Zara Nasir Ado Bayero, a daughter of the Emir of Bichi. The delegation to the palace was led by the Jigawa State Governor Abubakar Badaru of Jigawa. They are being hosted by the current Emir of Kano, who is the older brother of the prospective bride's father, Emir of Bichi. The bride-to-be, Zara, is a 19-year-old graduate of Brighton University, United Kingdom. She studied architecture. Her father is the fourth child of the late Emir of Kano, Alhaji Adobayero. According to reports, the wedding is expected to be held between August and September this year. So dollar reign, as I said, in Kano State. But where is that dollar going to come from? Well, guys, I bring you this. The next headline: Nigerian government to impose heavy tax on Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, other tech companies. So that is so they are already canvassing and sourcing the dollars to pay for this wedding now that is scheduled for August thereabouts. Again, the next headline: Nigerian government to impose heavy tax on Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, other tech companies. So now let's now see now how these people misunderstand double taxation. The Nigerian government says it will soon impose heavy tax on giant technology and digital companies in the country. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, SAN, made this known on Friday whilst interacting with the delegation of Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, CITN, led by its president, Mr. Adesina Adedayo, who visited him at the presidential villa. Osinbajo said the government will utilize its legal provisions to collect taxes on profits made in the country by global technology and digital firms not based in the country but with significant economic presence, whilst noting that the federal government will not raise tax rates at this time based on the Finance Act 2019. The vice president said it is ready to empower it. The vice president said it is already empowered to widen the tax net, including through the collection of taxes on the Nigerian income of global technology giants with significant economic presence here, even if they have not established an office or permanent establishment and are not currently paying taxes in Nigeria. A statement from the Vice President Office reads, whilst the federal government will not be raising taxes at this time, that is the tax rate. So whilst the government will not be raising tax rates at this time, based on the Finance Act 2019, it is already empowered to widen the tax net, including by collecting taxes on the Nigerian income of global tech giants with significant economic presence here, even if they have not established an office or permanent establishment and are not currently paying taxes in Nigeria. In this regard, Section 4 of the Finance Act 2019 provides that the Minister of Finance may, by order of the President, determine what constitutes the significant economic presence of a company other than a Nigerian company. We have had severe economic downturns, which of course implies that we may not be able to collect taxes with the aggressiveness that would ordinarily be expected. I think the most important thing is that we must widen our tax net so that more people who are eligible to pay tax are paying. Several efforts have been made, and I am sure you are aware of the initiatives, including the voluntary asset and income declaration scheme, which was also an attempt to bring more people into the tax net, including those who have foreign assets. Platforms like Facebook, Twitter, TikTok will be mostly affected by the new tax imposition when implemented. These platforms are part of technology companies operating in Nigeria but are located abroad. So of course the payment for that BUHARI wedding now, so we're seeing where the money is most likely to come from. But certainly some of that tax will be going in the direction of the creeks. As guys, I bring you this. Breaking: BUHARI reacts to Niger Delta Avengers threat to shut down oil production. So we tackled this yesterday. When we were contending with the headline that the Niger Delta Avengers have returned back to the creeks and are threatened to shut down the Nigerian economy. So quick as flash, a response from the Aboki in Aso Rock. Again, the headline, Buhari reacts to Niger Delta Avengers threat to shut down oil production. So now let's now see now what dollar offer is going to be made. President Muhammadu Buhari has reacted to a threat issued by the Niger Delta Avengers on Saturday to sabotage oil production facilities in the country. Below is a statement from the president on Sunday, signed by his media aide, Femi Adesina. The media was on Sunday awash with threats and demands by the group to embark on economic sabotage through bombing. Let's take that all over again. The media was on Sunday awash with threats and demands by the group to embark on economic sabotage through bombing of critical oil and gas installations unless certain demands, including development of the Niger Delta and restructuring of the federation, were met. It is, however, curious that the threat is coming less than 48 hours after President Muhammadu Buhari met with the leadership of the Niger Delta and Ijaw National Congress (ICN) at the presidential villa, and the germane issues had been responded to, especially call for restructuring of the federation and the inauguration of a board for the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC). For clarity and record purposes, below is a full text of the speech by President Buhari on Friday, June the 25th, 2021, which renders any saber rattling rather unnecessary. So here is now a text of Buhari's speech, which is rather long-winded, but we'll plow through it anyway. So here is let's just actually, I'm not going to skip this. Let's just let's plow through it. Bear with me one moment. Okay, so here is the speech. I warmly welcome all the elders of the Niger Delta and particularly the National Executive of the Ijaw National Congress under the leadership of Professor Benjamin Okoba. I thank you for paying this courtesy visit not long after your election in April and swearing in May. I also want to congratulate you all for your election and to add that a lot of responsibility is placed on your shoulders, especially coming from the fact that the Ijaw National Congress was almost without leadership for some time. As a symbol of the collective voice of the Ijaw people, which is one of Nigeria's main ethnic groups, the existence of a focused and people-oriented leadership would go a long way in articulating the demands of the Ijaw people and making sure these demands are made part of the national discourse. I particularly note your 10-point demand to the federal government in your inaugural speech and assure you that this administration is frontally addressing them. I am equally concerned about the rate of environmental degradation in the Niger Delta, and as you are aware, the hydrocarbon pollution remediation project has started work with the remediation efforts in Ogoni land, and I have directed the Minister of Environment to ensure that the projects are implemented with a high percentage of local content and the inclusion of surrounding communities. Similarly, the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency under the same Ministry of Environment is working to make sure that oil spills are reduced and new ones prevented. As you are also aware, all the responsible agencies of governments have been directed to ensure that they enforce compliance by the international oil companies to international best practices. In addressing your call for immediate restructuring, the National Assembly, whose responsibility it is to ensure that our constitution responds to the call for a restructured Nigeria, has already concluded regional consultations, and as soon as they finalize their process, necessary action will not be delayed on my part. In the same vein, your call for creation of 2 additional states and more local government areas for the Ijaw people is a legislative matter which should naturally be handled by the National Assembly. So you can see that is a bat back now. So of course, I mean, the chances of 2 Ijaw, even 1 Ijaw state being created is between slim and none, and slim has left town, as they say. It will never happen, but of course the platitudes of political speak, because of course if you look at the hierarchy of the demands for state creation, then you wonder where the need for an Ijaw nation or an Ijaw state falls within that paradigm. So of course you think of the immediacy of the need to split a space like Kaduna State into 2 to give the southern Kadunas respite and give them ownership of their space. So you think there's more immediacy to that. You will think that Oyo State is a vast space and governance will be felt better if Oyo State was split into 2. So you think there's a need for that, and you will think that there's underrepresentation of the Igbo people in the overarching structure, and you think that additional states are needed there. So if you think all of those needs, then you will see that these words are just empty political platitudes. So I'll take it from the top of that paragraph again. In the same vein, your call for creation of 2 additional states and more local government areas for the Ijaw people is a legislative matter which should naturally be handled by the National Assembly and seeking concurrence at the state level. I completely agree with your call to allocate operational licenses for marginal fields to Ijaw people. However, like you know, the process of granting licenses is guided by laid down rules and regulation. However, like you know, the process of granting licenses is guided by laid down rules and regulations, most of which even favor local content and local contractors. I see no reason why they should not be granted such licenses if they qualify. On the issue, so that is a bribe right there, of course. So they'll give them, of course, you know, the fields that they're talking about oil fields, a lot of which are vested within that space. So what these people are saying, what BUHARI say to these people essentially is that, okay, well done for organizing yourself. You have come, you have formed yourself into an association and you have elected a structure. So I will gift that your structure some minor oil fields, but of course the big oil fields where the real oil wealth are vested within the Nigerian structure will remain, of course, with people like Indimi from Borno and Dantatai. So they'll keep the fat end of the fat and they'll give you the bones. So begging for scraps and bones, they go and scraps and bones. BUHARI promises. So we take that paragraph from the top again. I completely agree with your call for allocation. I completely agree with your call to allocate operational licenses for marginal. So note that word, marginal fields. So not major fields. I'm just going by the wording. I don't know anything about the oil industry, but by the very token of that word marginal, that tells you that it's a subset of a main thing. So I completely agree with your call. Agree with your call to allocate operational licenses for marginal fields to Ijaw people. However, like you know, the process of granting licenses is guided by laid down rules and regulations, most of which even favor local content and local contractors. I see no reason why they should not be granted such licenses if they qualify. On the issue of fairness and balance of appointments to reflect federal character principles, I reaffirm that this has always been my focus and will continue to be, because I have always seen Nigeria as a country where everyone should be given equal opportunity. So of course, I mean, I'm not even going to dissect that statement. It speaks for itself. Anybody that knows the political terrain of Nigeria, then they can reflect, they can match that comment against just recent events and recent history. So this is what the Aboke is saying. A contentious issue that has been a subject of discourse amongst the Ijaw people of recent has been the need for the Niger Delta Development Commission to live up to its billing by delivering the required succor to the people of the region. Based on the mismanagement that had previously bedeviled the NDDC, a forensic audit was set up, and the result is expected by the end of July. So by the end of next month, essentially. I want to assure you that as soon as the forensic audit report is submitted and accepted, the NDDC board will be inaugurated. However, I would like to implore you that the Ijaw National Congress should play a more active role in making sure that the mismanagement that occurred in the past is not repeated. I am particularly happy to note your call for promoting ownership of modular refineries by the Ijaw. So modular refineries, marginal fields, is like let's say for instance you own a bank of money that belongs to somebody. Then you send your own son to Harvard to go and learn nuclear physics to PhD level, and then you say you want to help the person that you are taking their money, that you are going to send their son to go and learn how to be a organizer. So marginal fields and modular refineries, that is the lot of the Ijaw people, the owners of course of the wealth of the Nigerian state. But then of course the docility of these people, they go cap a begging to Aso Rock. We take that paragraph from the top again. I am particularly happy to note your call for promoting ownership of modular refineries by the Ijaw people, and I will urge you to interface with your sons who are involved in the processes of establishing these refineries, especially the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, to actualize this request. So, to actualize this quest, rather, like you well know, completion of the East-West Road is top on my infrastructure agenda, and I will look to its speedy conclusion. So, like you well know, the completion of the East-West Road is top on my infrastructure agenda, and I will look to its speedy conclusion. Again, the occasional disturbance by youths in some communities along the route to construction work will require your close attention and guidance. Furthermore, we have made considerable progress in the construction of the Bonny to Port Harcourt Bridge. I am very happy with the recent affirmation of your belief in a united Nigeria. And so now this is where the response to that what is it called? The Niger Delta Avengers demands takes a foothold. So the restructuring narrative and of course the cleaning up of their space. But this especially speaks to that restructuring narrative. So this paragraph, I am very happy with the recent affirmation of your belief in united Nigeria, and while I thank you for standing with me, I will also implore you to use your leverage in making sure that we keep working together to keep this country a united, indivisible entity, so that we can tackle our problems together and overcome our challenges together. I would like now to commend Professor Okoba for your emphasis on supporting the fight against insecurity by developing. So this especially speaks, of course, to the militants in the creeks. So I would like now to commend Professor Okoba for your emphasis on supporting the fight against insecurity by developing internal control mechanisms, as well as working with other institutions in the country to address our current security challenges. While I thank you once more for this visit, I will continue to count on your support as we work towards resolving our current challenges. So that is the quick response of Malam Buhari to the news that broke yesterday that the Niger Delta militants had returned to the creeks. So that is the goings on, and this is a bonus. There's a bonus narrative actually that goes to to the eastern quarters. Let me see. So let me just put this up. Just bear with me one moment. So click here to come join live on screen. So I'll put out the invite again to come join live on screen. This might well prove to be a fairly short session, but we'll see how it goes. So let me bring you this bonus story, and then I'll come join you in the space to see if there's anybody wanting to chime in. It is ridiculous to believe Buhari has died. So Obasanjo now speaking to that IPOB narrative, just laughing at the ridiculousness of that space, Nnamdi Kanu and his bunch of bouncing bodies. Again, the headline, it's ridiculous to believe Buhari has died, a headline attributed to Obasanjo. So let's go straight into it. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has described as ridiculous rumors that President Muhammadu Buhari has died and was cloned by someone from Sudan. Obasanjo said the rumor became popular through the abuse of social media, expressing surprise that many Nigerians believe the lies. The former president explained in a video how he was approached by a very important person who asked him about the truth about Buhari's rumored death. According to him, the person told him that the information had gone viral on social media. The Balogun Owu wondered, so that is one of the traditional titles, no doubt, that Obasanjo carries. The Balogun Owu wondered how Buhari could have died and be replaced with someone from Sudan without him knowing about it. Someone came to me, a very high hub person, so that should be high up, but they wrote high hub here, so I'm not quite sure if that is a term. So somebody came to me, a very high up, I will go with person, saying, tell me about this talk of Buhari not being Buhari. I said, do you believe them? He said, well, it is in the social media. I said, how will Buhari die and we will not know that Buhari has died and they will bring us somebody from the Sudan to be Buhari? It is ridiculous to the extreme. But you have it on social media and you see people believing it. Obasanjo expressed concerns. Whilst accepting the fact that the social media is good, Obasanjo, however, regretted that it has been abused. He advocated teaching the youth and the children about the dangers inherent in abusing social media. Social media is good, but it can be abused. We have to train our youth and our children about the dangers of social media, he submitted. So that is just like a bonus narrative from the former president of Nigeria, Obasanjo. So let's just hear him in his own words express those words. So a little clip from
very high up, very high up, very, very high up, and said, tell me, these talk about Buhari not being Buhari. I said, do you believe this? He said, well, it's in the social media. I said, Buhari will die and we will not know that Buhari has died. And they will bring out somebody from Sudan to be Buhari. It's ridiculous to extreme. But you have it in the social media and you have people believing it. You have people believing it. Social media has become, it's good, but it can be abused and misused. We have to also train and teach our youth, our children, about the danger of the social media, the dangers of the social media.
So that was Obasanjo just adding he. Oh no, I was actually trying to remove that. So that was Obasanjo just re-echoing what I just said. So engineer, we see you. What are you making of it? Good to see you, my man.
Yeah, happy Sunday to you.
Same to you, my brother.
Yeah,
So to the narrative.
when you come to what Obasanjo is saying regarding the regarding the Buhari issue, to be honest, let's be realistic. Some time ago when Baba was upset,
Hmm.
I like the word he always use, pampering. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So Baba was upset, and I believe that Baba now has been pampered, so he will come out and speak on behalf of his man, on behalf of his colleague. You
Yes,
know,
but really, it's just really. I think it's just having a laugh at the ridiculousness of that Dubrion narrative. But let's not stay there too much because I think that's. I think everybody finds that a bit clownish. Uh, but
Mhm.
uh, but they say Nigeria is broke, but I guarantee that there will be no signs of that in Kano State. Yusuf Buhari looking to marry one of the princesses of the Emirates. So dollar reign in Kano State.
Politics is politics. I love
Yes.
Nigeria. I love our country, to be honest. You see, when you come to realistic, these people, they're just playing with people's mindset. This is what I always say because a son of a president marrying a daughter of is it
Emir.
Emir of Kano?
Yes.
That will
You
tell.
know they've broken the Kano Emirate into bits by the way. So this is the Emir of Bichi, which is one of the emirates within. I think there are about 7 emirates now within Kano State, and they have their
Okay.
individual. Yeah.
Now you will see people that will troop in that wedding. That's where you know that Nigeria has a problem and has an issue.
Where you would know Nigeria really has a problem is okay. So he's getting married to the girl. Fair enough. The first thing is we all know that he doesn't have a job. So quite how he's able to afford getting married to a high-profile princess is one thing. But then the person that is going to beg for the bride, you know the tradition of sending your family to go and beg for the bride. The delegation that is going to the palace to ask for the girl is Abu Bakar Badaru, the governor of Jigawa State. So
There we go.
what has the governor of Jigawa State got to do with the son of Buhari toasting some girl in Kano State? What is his
It,
business?
it,
Is he a
it,
relative?
it's just, to be honest, this is these people are just playing with people's mindset. I keep saying it. They know what they're doing. You understand? It's like now, believe me, you will see almost 20 governors will attend the wedding.
Yes,
Both from the PDP,
ministers and governor. Yeah, yeah,
both from the
yeah,
APC, all of them, they will go there and they will say,
yeah.
okay, guys, let's start the game again.
Mm.
It's politics. It's
Yeah,
politics.
it's
For
just it's the.
the for the bride and the groom, I wish them all the best, to be honest. And well, it's just you should always think about Nigeria has an issue. Nigeria, there's hunger in Nigeria. That's just the truth, nothing but the truth.
Okay, so the way they are wanting to insulate this hunger now, Yemi Oshibajo is now telling us that he's going to impose heavy taxation on our Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all of the social medias. So there is such a thing as double taxation. I'm not a tax expert, but I remember taking a class so when I was doing taxation law and whatnot. So I remember there's something called double taxation that you cannot pay tax in every, because imagine if you have to pay tax in every jurisprudence or that you are vested in. So I'm not quite sure. Can you explain that to me? You are the clever one. They want to be imposing tax on Twitter, Facebook, etc.
You see, the thing is, just like I said, I'll use your word again. Our coffee man, our tea man,
Hmm.
you understand? They're gonna use him again. Imposing all these things, that's the way they see most majority of youth in Nigeria. That's what they depend on. Because if you look at it, if you see that Nigeria, we used to have a ultimate Google the ultimate search, and we used to have BB Nanja. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And you see the amount of money people they impose in watching all these things. The government will look at it and will like, wow, is it the kind of amount youths people they have? Regardless, they're complaining there is no money in the country. So they know they know their way out how to manipulate the citizen of the country. When in terms of things like this, trust me, they know what to do. Going to the Twitter or going to Facebook, trust me, they will pump them with money just to come out and manipulate Nigerian youth. People that are depend on the system, depend on the internet. That's what they're gonna do.
You see, my fear is if they go into heavy against all these international platforms, they will do their own calculations and say, look, if it's too much hard work to be in the Nigerian space, let's just pull out of it. And then if they pull out of Nigeria, the rest of the world still carries on. We just regress back into the dark ages, because if they do their number crunching, if they have to pay tax, maybe they pay a little something. But if they want to start going heavy-handed against them like this, they just pull out and carry on. Their headquarters is already in places like Ghana anyway. Nigeria needs this platform more than this platform needs Nigeria. Essentially,
Yeah,
is what I'm
it's
saying.
it's like a contract. That's what we call subcontract. You know what I mean? That's what they're gonna do. It's like they'll get the contract from the internet provider, and Nigeria will import their own machineries, right, and offer them the contract, and they'll give them a figure. This is what we need. This is your target. You need to get this for us. If you guys can't afford in 4 weeks to get this,
And by the way, when if they impose that tax, these people will monetize those platforms even more, because they are not going to be paying the tax, so they are just going to sweat the average Nigerians even more.
Of course,
So it will
of
start
course.
costing you maybe 10-20 naira to post on Facebook, to send WhatsApp. If you want to send WhatsApp now, which is free for everybody, they'll just vest that payment on the Nigerian person, because they are not going to take
Definitely.
the money they are earning in America to come and be paying taxes in Nigeria.
No
So
way, no
they'll
chance.
just sweat the Nigerian person for that.
This is the kind of leaders we have in that country. They are completely evil and they are completely heartless. Because I've never seen a country where leaders, where youths, where the citizens, they are benefiting, they're still trying to cause havoc on them, trying to impose things that it's just like you are. According to Baba Fela, may he so rest in peace. He says suffering and smiling. That's what is happening currently in Nigeria. People are suffering, people are dying, but people are still smiling because the level of how these people, they are targeting their mission. They are targeting their mission towards 2023. I'm telling you, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy because they want to do anything that they will show the world that election is free and fair. That's
Okay,
it.
well, the people that don't want to suffer and smile anymore are the people in the creeks. Niger Delta Avengers, they came out yesterday, of course, to say that hostilities has resumed, and quickly the Buhari administration responds. Femi Adesina pointing to the meeting that they had with the Ijaw leaders, promising them marginal oil fields, sweetheart contracts and deals, and modular refineries. Would this be sufficient to satiate the agitation in the creeks? So to the creeks.
Yeah, the thing is, they were invited where? Is it in Abuja?
Yeah, no, they have this national body, the Ijaw something council. So they recently elected their leaders. So those leaders went to pay a courtesy call to Buhari just a couple of days ago with a 10-point demand to say that this is what we want and this is what we want. And Buhari acceded to a lot of what they said. But very next day after that meeting, we had this news that the Niger Delta Avengers are now in the creeks and they want to resume hostilities. So Buhari is now responding via Femi Adesina to say that it is a curiosity that you came the day before and I agreed to everything you said, but still the very next day your people are in the creeks saying that they are going to bring down the economy. So the politics of the creeks, this is where we are.
Yeah, but you see, this is what I was telling Sally yesterday. Now, come on, these people know how to play the game. But if you want to play with our leaders, once you attempt, they invite you, you go to Aso Rock. That's it, That's it. It's just like people that they sort them out now. What really is going on is there is mix of communication with the people in the creek, and the people in the creek, they don't trust the ones that went to Abuja. So they will still keep like, okay, what is the outcome? What did you guys get from us? So if there is no good communication there, obviously, argument will start, and the threatening will continue.
Because what they are saying essentially is that you came to collect dollars just yesterday, and your boys are in the creeks now. So clearly, the money is being given out. It's not being shared sufficiently to meet where it needs to meet.
Exactly. You see, like I said, they will still call them. As long as they go to Abuja now, they sort them out. Now, what will happen if the guys in the creek, the money hasn't gotten to them? Then they will still send another body from Abuja to go and investigate where the money went to, and that's it. And
because you know that creek area is not one of the places that you can just send Dongo Yaro to go and shoot up everybody. The creek is a swampy area, and the soldiers, they don't understand. They are always drowning in the creeks, and you know you can't use the Nnamdi Kanu technique and go and do python dance.
A lot of foreigners, they do go there to have a like one-on-one interview with the people in the creek. There's a white guy who went to there in the creek, and they just do all this flashy threatening to him. But at the end of the day, the main man came out and speak to him one-on-one. So it's just like I said, they know what they're doing. But it's politics. It's politics. There's hunger in the land. That's just what is going on in that country.
All right. Thank you, engineer. It's just been you and I today. I think everybody is out enjoying the weather, or drinking wine and champagne or everything. So it's going to be like a short session now. So just give us final words, and I'll just round it off. 90 people in the session, by the way. Thank you. So if you are not subscribed already, then please do. This is how the platform gets traction. So click on the red subscribe button as you listen to engineer's final words. So engineer, your words.
Yeah, okay. What I'm just gonna say here is Nigeria is a beautiful country. It's a blessed country, and it's unfortunate that we have leaders that are very, very heartless and evil towards the citizens of Nigeria. If Nigeria is up to date in keeping their rules and regulation, I don't think you see people in that creek, Niger Delta, coming out to threaten to pieces that area. So it's just very sad. And when it comes to things like this, I always said it's high time the old people, please allow the young generation to come into the power. Nigeria must change. We need electricity, we need road, we need water. Those are the very, very important thing in that country that can keep life going, keep sustaining people's life. Please and please, this is my advice, and this is my little words.
All right. Thank you, engineer. Good of you to join me. So that was engineer, ladies and gentlemen. So a short session, of course, this time around. Record breaking. We managed to get it under 1 hour. So that is a delight. Quite a few of you still with the stream though. So please ensure that you're subscribed, because we want to try and hit some targets even before this year runs out. Not this year, this month, and of course this year as well. So targets are to be met, and those targets would require your subscription. So a recap of the session. We've had so the announcement that Buhari's jobless son is getting married to a priced Kano princess, and of course the delegations to go and beg for the girl's hand. Governors, ministers, orders storm Emir of Kano's palace for Buhari's son's wedding. So there you go. You don't need to be employed. All you need to have within the Nigerian space is just a Malami father that knows the dollar price of brutality. So the price though of being a social media platform in Nigeria, We will soon impose heavy taxes on Facebook, Twitter, other tech giants. Oshibanjo speaking, so they are hammering down on that space, then feeling as though they have cornered now Twitter. They are wanting now to hammer down what they consider to be their advantage. But is this an advantage or a disadvantage, a disservice to the Nigerian space? Because if you go into heavily against these people, and they've gone on to say, by the way, that these people are not physically vested within the Nigerian space, so they operate remotely within the Nigerian space, so they don't even have to shut down any offices. All they need to do is to switch off their operations in Nigeria and look to have traction somewhere else. So who is the loser in this game of brinksmanship that the Nigerian space is playing with the international tech giants? We wait and see. So that was the next session. And then we went on to discuss Obasanjo pointing and laughing at the Igbo quarters via Nnamdi Kanu and his ridiculousness. And now we rounded off with Buhari's response to the Niger Delta Avengers threat to shut down oil production in Nigeria. So that has been the session. Let me just acknowledge Plenty Waters super chat, and then we'll round it off there. So Plenty Water says, tech wise, Twitter need Nigeria more. Social apps are like colonizers. They will never leave any space for any other competitors, so they will negotiate their way through successfully. I am sure. Yes, I am sure, because of course just the sheer size of the Nigerian space would probably be enough of an incentive for them to tarry a little to see how they can ease things. But if they are saying they are going to be because imagine if they go with that, and thank you for the super chat, Plenty Water. Imagine if they go with that heavy taxation that the Nigerian state says is going to impose on them, and then they go to Brazil, and then that is replicated, because of course if Nigeria does this successfully, then every other country would replicate. So if they are paying heavy taxes in all of the jurisdictions that they are operating, then of course there is very soon it will no longer be a viable going concern. So they'll just wreck the company if they allow them to do that. So that might well be what the balance would be. So we'll leave it there. A shortish session this time around. So I'll leave it there. Carry the conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.